Ogden Arts and Adventure Show. I'm R. Brandon Long.
And I'm Todd Oberndorfer.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, I was listening.
Wow, that was so good. The greatest co-host in all the land, Todd Oberndorfer. We are hosts for the greatest podcast in all the land. I want to introduce our guests this week. We have in studio from Bingham Cyclery, Jackie Baker, Marketing Director. Jackie. Brayden Brown, Mechanic Extraordinaire. What's your official title?
Store Manager.
Store Manager. Store Manager was Mechanic, and now you...
Right.
Okay, that's right.
Yep.
We'll lock that down here in a minute. Joel Kitamura, Artist,
art teacher.
Art teacher. You want to expand on that? Like pro...
High school art teacher.
Okay.
High school.
And one of our newest
Angel.
members of Ogden City's Arts Advisory Committee.
Yes.
Thank you, Todd. Yeah, because Todd's going to actually do something good for us, where we invite everyone that's from the Ogden City Arts Advisory Committee in on the show.
Particularly our newest members, so we can get to know them.
Yeah. So Joel is not the first, but you're the newest probably on Ogden City Arts Advisory.
Definitely in the new batch. I think that there was three or four new ones.
Sam came on same time I did.
Yeah.
And I think he was the only one.
Yeah. Why do I not know Sam yet even? See, this is everyone's new.
We'll get him in the trailer.
We'll get him in the trailer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you'll be like, oh, Sam.
Yeah.
We know Sam.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's start on the adventure side.
Yeah.
Shall we? We have Jackie and Brayden, Bingham Cyclery. Thanks for coming in. I'll adjust that here in a minute.
Happy spring, everyone.
Happy spring.
Yes.
Well, normally, okay, so that's a good place to start. Brayden, are you normally selling more bikes this time of year? Or because I went on the shows on the shoreline on Sunday. I did Maylands this morning. You got a while. I mean,
Right.
some stuff's got to melt. So
Yep, very muddy. A lot of ice and snow still up there, especially in the morning time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're starting to sell a lot of bikes. So that's something I try and mention to people to try and stay off the trails because it's not great for them. Definitely not great for their structure and the rest of the year. Just makes the rest
here's
of
your
the year
brand
riding
new
better.
bike. Don't ride it.
Right. Ride it somewhere else.
But if the conditions are right, you can make it really dangerous for people down the line, too.
Well, and can you explain how it ruins the trails? Because I got the hat, right? It's about
Yep.
So what does it do? Why should they not jump on the trails right away? Like right now when it's muddy and stuff.
Yeah, so the trails are really soft. Riding on that, it's going to make a bunch of ruts. That when that mud dries, it's going to be really deep, and it's not going to be fun to ride in the future. And trails, have to go in, and crews have to go in and fix that. So, makes it harder to build new trails. Makes it harder for people to enjoy it in the future.
Joel, do you build trails before
No.
with the outdoor program?
No.
Okay.
I did other forms of labor, specifically with the military.
Okay, but no trail building.
No.
Okay, yeah, Jackie.
And if I could give a shout out to the Northern Utah Trails Foundation, because they're the ones that are doing all the work in the hat that you're pointing at.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones that are going to have to go in and clean all that up when people ride, and it's not ready yet.
Man, that's hard though, because we got to sell the bikes, and because
Yep.
it's the time. This is when you probably sell the most, like
yeah.
like RVs right now.
Everybody's getting excited. yeah.
RVs and bikes.
We had our 9 months of snow, and now we're excited to kind of get moving into that.
So wait, definitely snow. I remember it didn't snow in October, if I remember right, because
No, it didn't.
Halloween was not
Now,
snowy.
9 months worth of snow, I think.
No, but legit November, December, January, February, all of March apparently. So 5 months of snow is a lot of snow.
Yep.
And are you seeing that people are amped to buy bikes now? And by the way, how's inventory? Because things got really janky and weird there for a couple years.
Yeah, inventory's a whole lot better. It's
Okay.
a lot different than last year. Road bikes, we're still a little slim, but mountain, we've got pretty much everything you need. So,
Okay, and now the trail bike, the gravel bikes.
gravel. Yeah.
What is the deal? Why does everybody want a gravel bike now?
Oh, it's the new rage. Everybody's into gravel riding. We got a whole lot of gravel roads here in Utah, Idaho, surrounding states. You do a lot of miles in the wilderness, and that's really cool. It's appealing to people, myself included.
Okay. All right, so that's good. Everyone wants a bike.
What's different about a gravel bike?
Yeah, well, yours is yours is a city bike, right?
It's like a commuter
Commuter bike?
so I could get a little bit off.
but Want to explain the difference between a mountain bike and gravel bike?
Well, the tires for one. They're both drop bars, so it's kind of an aggressive bike. Just think road bike, but with knobby tires. Really, is in a nutshell.
Or if you get the giant Revolt, you can get the front suspension Rudy fork on
That's
it
right.
now, and that's something that we have in stock and ready to go.
Yep.
Next level gravel biking.
Next up, well, so Wojo just did a race, and one of our ex-partners, I guess, John, we help him with his podcast with the Utah Safety Commission, and he did a gravel bike race. So gravel bike races are big now, which helps sell bikes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so local mountain bike races also help sell bikes, along with high school mountain bike teams. So how has that helped the industry?
Well, there's a lot of kids to supply bikes to. That's for one. But one thing I'd like to mention is our trails need to grow. The industry's growing. The riders are growing. That means we need more trails to put those people on. It's getting pretty dense. So.
Okay, that's a good comment. It's about the trails. It's funny I wore this hat today.
Is fat tires a thing anymore, or is it still
Fat bikes?
Fat
Yeah.
bikes, fat tires?
Yep.
Yeah.
My neighbor's a huge fat biker, which that's a good year for it.
It's a snow thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
So your comment is poignant. So there's the comment, and then there's actually producing more trails.
Yep.
And without having someone here from Trails Foundation, do you know how possible that is? Is there room? Is there, like, where are the trails going to go in at? Like, what's that process like?
Oh, it's hard, from what I understand. Basically, through the Forest Service, you have to get permission from them, and it's hard. It takes a lot of work. I can't speak on it too much because I don't sit on anything like that.
Yeah, but you're seeing it as a rider, as an enthusiast, that you're like, okay, something's going to have to change.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
this
it's
is why-
expensive. It's expensive.
It is expensive.
AF.
Yeah.
And if you go to their the Trails Foundation website, they actually have laid out how much it costs per mile.
I can't remember
the trail.
how much they told us. It's a very high number.
Yeah.
Very high number. But the great thing is that there are a lot of people really working on that right now, and that there's a lot that is happening. And so if you can support the Trails Foundations at wherever you are, and Bingham Cyclery is very adamant about supporting local Trails Foundations so that we can tell people where to ride and make sure that everyone has a safe place to ride.
Jackie, you are the marketing director, which is cool. I'm a fan of marketing directors. Will you give us some history of Bingham real quick, in case for those listening who aren't familiar with Bingham? Because I think we just talked about there's 4 shops in town. Bingham and Skyline might be the oldest in town. I'm not completely sure on that. But how did Bingham start? Where are we now? Do you want to catch us up real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So we just celebrated our 60th year in business last year.
Nice.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah. So basically, I haven't been there the whole time, but it started in 19.
Wait, what? You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do a lot of skincare routine. So Bingham started actually in Roy. Blaine Bingham was the founder of the bike shop.
So is that the same shop?
No. It was very briefly in kind of like an automotive hardware store shop where he had just started selling a few Schwinn's, and then they moved into the place we are in Sunset, on North Main and Sunset.
Okay.
That was really the dawn of Bingham Cyclery, and so that when that store started, it was a Schwinn Cyclery.
And that's his last name.
Bingham, yes.
Bingham. Yeah. Okay.
And so then the Ogden store would have been the second store. It was also on Washington, but a little bit further south.
Yep.
And then now we're up to 5 stores. We have a store in Salt Lake City, Sandy, and now just in November we opened Park City as well.
How's that
Jeremy
going?
Ranch. Well, snowy there. Very snowy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you open in November? Yeah. Wow, what a time to open a bike store in
You
Park
do what
City.
you can with Park City real estate,
Yeah.
you know, but
Okay.
the Park City store is an e-bike only store. And so
Interesting.
that is our focus there, though we will service
should we
all
dive
bikes
into
everywhere.
The e-bike
Oh, man.
controversy? Are they
Is there
allowed on trails?
Is there
what's the?
controversy? I don't think there's controversy.
I don't know. Is there a controversy?
So theoretically, there are trails that do and don't allow e-bikes, and they're usually signed at the trailhead.
It's like e-bike Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you can,
I mean, it would be great if there was more of a rotation, to be honest. We're kind of talking about the difference between perceived conflict and actual conflict. There's very little actual conflict. People just, it's a newer technology and people get nervous, right? But most people who are riding e-bikes are just as skilled and or moving at the similar pace as everyone else.
I don't own one. I don't know if I would buy one right now, but I love them. I've ridden them. I've demoed them.
It's hard not to smile,
I demoed. Oh, it is. I demoed a fat bike. Do you remember that, Todd? You were there? I just remember thinking this thing hauls ass, especially for a fat bike.
Yeah, and you can go really fast, but you still have to deal with all of the things on the trail that everyone else has to deal with, and you're riding a heavier bike, right? But they are a great means for a lot of people to access the trails that we do have. And in fact, a lot of what we're trying to do through Bingham Cyclery is more education about A, how to ride the bikes, but B, where to ride the bikes, right? But then also we focus a lot on urban commuting and, you know, can you take the kids to school in a cargo bike? Can you ride to and from work without getting super sweaty when it's 100 degrees in the summer?
And that was the reason I got one.
Yeah.
Work related.
Yeah.
Showing up to meetings all sweaty is not always the best thing. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Is yours e-assist?
Yeah. No, I'd have to do some work myself, you know.
Yeah.
It's not all provided for me, yeah.
Well, I sometimes I feel like I'm neglecting my road friends because I just grew up on dirt and mountain biking. But what's the percentage of sales there for road bikes and mountain bikes and gravel bikes, I guess?
Well, in my store in Ogden, it's probably like 10-15%, 10% road, if that.
Okay.
It's pretty low. We do mostly mountain, and I can't speak to road biking a whole lot because I don't really ride a whole lot of road either because I grew up on dirt, so yeah.
Well, it felt like road biking was very popular a few years ago, and I don't know what happened. I don't know, but there's what's the race that we have where people go up and over Lodija?
Yeah,
that thing was huge for a few years.
It's still going strong, and we support the Little Red Ride, which is up in Logan, and that's a 100-miler for women. And then there's a bunch of other still road events that happen. But I think the thing for Bingham is that we really are good at local trails and mountain bikes. Road bikes are there and we love them and they're great for, getting that training in and the people that want to do the longer rides. But what we're really passionate about is the dirt, and that's where that gravel bike comes in. And I think a lot of folks are finding out that, and this is for me personally too, is that I ride my gravel bike on the road all the time because it's just more comfortable. You have those wider tires, you have a different gear range, a more comfortable fit. And so you don't need this like crazy racy super aero ride all the time when, our roads right now are full of sand and salt and sticks and
holes,
dead animals.
I mean, you name it, you're riding over it, right? It's easier when you have a fatter tire with a little bit of traction on it.
Well, I used to get my information from magazines, and then apparently this thing came along called the internet and whatever. But it's been so hard in the last 5 to 10 years to keep up on all the technology on mountain bikes. As an ex-mechanic, as a store manager, Brayden, what is the coolest thing now? Like, what's been the trend over the last couple of years? Where are bikes at these days?
Well, that's honestly a hard question because it's hard for me to keep up with.
Yeah.
Everything changes a lot. There's a lot out there. The cool thing now is geometry is changing every day. Slack long bikes is kind of the cool thing. There's things called mullet bikes, 27.5.
Like the hair?
Yeah, like the hair.
Okay.
Because different wheel sizes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, so you do like 27 front, 29 back or something?
Right. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. A lot of racers.
Opposite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Opposite.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a big thing that you're seeing in bikes now. Yeah.
It's a party in the
business in the front,
party in the back.
Right.
So 29ers the party or 27.5's the party? Who's the party?
Depends on who you ask. I
Okay.
suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How big a mullet you want?
Right.
Okay, let's get personal. What are you riding?
So right now I just got off the stump jumper 29. I definitely prefer 29-inch wheels, front and back. But now I'm on the Norco Optic C. Yeah, right. Yeah. But Norco Optic C2. Norco's a really cool brand. I'm really big on them. I like what they're doing. I'm a Shimano guy personally.
Okay.
And they have a lot of Shimano stuff.
Okay, talk to me about, because I know nothing about suspension. To give you an idea, the last bike I owned it definitely wasn't full. It didn't even come with the front fork suspension. I had to buy an aftermarket front suspension, and I used it for almost 20 years, which was amazing. But it was a compression like this rather than on forks.
The trust.
It was wild. Yeah, because at the time everybody was playing with different stuff, you know. And I was like, I'll go with that one. That one's different.
Yeah.
And then we went to Moab soon after I got that. This was in the late 90s, and I remember we went with some high school kids, and I feel really bad for them. This was right after I bought that bike that lasted about 20 years, into the 2000s. But those kids had no suspension.
Yeah.
They just had mountain bikes with no, and so you had to bunny hop everything in Moab, right? Like everything.
That's what I rocked.
That's what. Yeah. See. And is that cool now? Like, are people going in reverse? Are they going no suspension now?
Not really. Suspension's pretty cool now.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
I mean, I know like the gears sometimes go single speed and stuff, but what about like no suspension?
Yeah. A lot of people like pick bikes based off of suspension.
Yeah.
Fox Rock Shocks. Suspension's really important. It's a really pricey part of the bike. And that's where a lot of the engineering goes into. Yeah.
And does it, because I'm sorry, these people listening who know bikes are like, dude, that was so 10, 30 years ago. But does the suspension, because when it first came out, there was the debate on if it stopped you on the uphill, right? So, but then now they've improved it and everything, and so it shouldn't matter now, right?
You can lock it out.
Yeah.
Where it shouldn't move. Some of it moves a little bit, but you can lock it out to where you're getting that efficiency on the uphill, so you're not just bouncing as you pedal. So.
Okay, can we play a game? Build me a bike. I need a bike. They're expensive, by the way, these bikes. So what if I have like
2 wheels?
Just 2 wheels. 2 wheels. What's price range? 5,000 enough for a brand new bike, or is that way too much?
That's a good amount.
That's a good amount. What about like 3,000? Can I get a good bike for $3,000?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And I would like to ride like Bonneville Shoreline. Probably not crushing the downhill courses at who has downhill these days at the resorts? Powder just puts them in, which that's sort of, what do you call that? It's not downhill necessarily. It's
trail. That's trail.
Is that enduro?
You're climbing a little.
Climbing a little. It's okay. But so who's got downhill? Park City,
Deer Valley.
Deer Valley. Yeah. So not that. So what kind of bike would I be looking at for 3,000 to 5,000? Probably full suspension, 29er, cross country, sort of. That was called cross country, or is that the wrong verbiage?
Oh, that's good.
Okay,
that's good.
All right.
There's a lot of different bikes that I could put you on. The big cross country bike out there right now is the Specialized Epic. I'm sure.
Good name.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's pretty epic. It's a lot of high school cross country kids ask for that bike, or just cross country riders in general.
Okay.
And I'll let Jackie comment.
If I bought that bike, would every cross country racer be jealous of me? Because that's a pretty good goal.
They absolutely would. But I'm gonna guess that for you and the fun that you want to have, you're probably
Type
actually
2.
looking at more of a stump jumper or a fuel kind of scenario.
Well, that's funny because stump jumpers were the shiz a really long time ago. So they're
it's much different now than you remember, because
Okay.
stump jumpers didn't used to be full suspension, and now stump jumpers more of a full suspension trail bike. But the Norco Fuel might be another great option for you, and you get a little more bang for your buck, so you might be able to get a little better componentry for that same price point.
Okay. How many people buy just frames and then piece everything together these days?
Oh, very few.
Okay.
If any.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very few.
So what are some of the parts that they do by an upgrade? Is it wheels, seats?
Drivetrains.
Drivetrains
is a big one. Okay. Yeah.
SRAM just launched a new one today, actually.
Oh, really?
See today, breaking news.
Yep.
What does SRAM do today?
The AXS, the new derailleur and
stuff.
system.
And stuff. And stuff.
I market for Bingham, not for SRAM.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've got a lot of like really cool. I mean, we're at the point where components are like connected to your phone now, so you can have your suspension and your derailleur.
You can like put it on an app and
Absolutely,
adjust your...
yeah. So you can have
Wild.
you can adjust your suspension and fine tune your derailleur, things like that from your phone, and it'll even do it on like essentially its own. It's like AI.
Yeah,
you know, it's
no.
watching
So
everything that
obviously,
you do.
this is the next question: is can I type in my GPS on maps and then just sort of put it there on my phone and then just let go, or on the bike,
Absolutely.
and then it just like my bike wheels
like
me
a
to the
Tesla?
destination? Yeah, like a Tesla. Yeah.
Not quite yet.
Like-
You still have to keep your hands on those bars, but maybe next year.
How far away were we from that? Yeah.
We're working with Elon.
Okay. It's all I needed to know. Working with Elon.
Take me to the
Goodness.
summit. Just go for the ride.
Oh, Todd, you got questions on bikes? I have another one for Jackie, but
Go ahead.
well, Jackie is the marketer for Bingham, like you said. Why should someone shop Bingham and versus any other store?
Because we have the best people, the best brands, and the best bikes.
That sounds rehearsed. Come on. You've given that answer. Really, why should someone shop Bingham?
Because we're part of the community and we really
Better
work.
answer. Yeah.
Because we really work hard to understand what the rider needs and what your background is, where you're coming from, and what you want to do. We're not just trying to sell you a bike, but we also want to make sure that once you walk out that door, even if you can't go ride the trail today, maybe there's an alternative drier trail that you can go to if it's not shoreline. You know, we'll try to send you in the right place and make sure that you're taken care of from the moment you buy the bike, or even before then, until, you know, you're ready for your next one. We want you to have that full journey, and we're there for you.
And that's Brayden's job, right?
Yeah, I don't do anything like that.
And I want to say, when I was looking to work at a bike shop, I'm really proud of Ogden, and I wanted to work at a place that was involved in Ogden and that was local and that I could be proud of downtown. And to me, that was Bingham Cyclery. So I'm really happy to work there downtown in Ogden.
I just thought about the island's probably in good shape. You guys been out there yet?
Oh,
Antelope?
no, I haven't.
Okay.
No.
I saw a group ride out there last weekend, and it looked pretty doable, except for the bison are spicy because it's spring.
Spicy bison.
Yeah. Like, no joke. Like, they're all over right now. Like, all right, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Just don't go out to see the water. Like you can enjoy everything else.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a little
there's
dry
lake
out there.
comment.
Yeah, but I think
Was that a lake joke? Is that, yeah.
It's what is it? Too soon? I think we all know that this is happening. I do think that 60 years speaks volumes, and the fact that you have five locations is very impressive. But I think the fact that you haven't lost track of who's buying your bikes, right? And that's always very, very important. And I think that Brayden mentioned earlier some of the other bike shops in town, and I imagine in my head that the community of bicyclists, that you're still friends with the other bike shops.
Yeah,
you know?
of course. I mean, in my lifetime, I've shopped at all of them, and yeah,
I think that's so important.
Yes.
Like, it really, really is.
I think so too.
Well, and if you're not a mountain biker, or you want to buy a bike, you want to get into it, explain like what Bingham carries and why, because all the shops carry different brands.
Well, we carry a little bit of everything. We carry. I mean, now we've been growing our store and what we carry. So we carry Specialized, Norco, Giant, Aventon. We carry commuter bikes. We carry cargo bikes, mountain, road, gravel. A little bit for everything, everyone. Yeah.
And can you special order?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
We can special order. Right now, we're not special ordering everything because we have a pretty good inventory, like I said. So we try and show you what we have because it's that time of year where our inventory is pretty stocked.
Okay, you've been there 4 years. I was a general manager at Gear 30 during COVID. Did you guys sell a lot of bikes in 2020?
Oh, so many.
So
Yes.
many, yeah.
A
And then
lot.
what happened in 2021?
Again, a lot.
Okay.
A lot of bikes.
So then
Yeah.
did we just burn through all the inventory and they just couldn't make them fast enough, or what? What happened?
Pretty much same story anywhere you go in any industry. Supply chain couldn't keep up. The whole shipping across seas that got really backed up. Same story as any industry.
Okay. And now you're sort of back to normal. So
Yes, I would say so.
God, that's nice. Okay. It was a pain in the ass for a while. We felt it at the shop too, but it was like tense.
Yeah.
And then we had a sleeping bag company that just stopped making sleeping bags because they were making is it PPE? Whatever. PPE.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
Yep.
Are they back to sleeping bags again?
Yes. Yeah. But it's sucked.
I mean, a lot of masks could be pretty comfy.
It's true.
I mean, you got to wear a lot of masks.
Not as
to make a
comfy.
sleeping bag.
Yeah, right.
And they're not down. They're just. Although a down mask would be pretty dope. I mean, you're wearing that around. People know, like, whoa, I paid extra. For,
Yeah. Louis Vuitton down
Louis Vuitton
mask.
down
Yeah.
mask. Louis Vuitton down. So wrong. Okay, Jackie, last pitch on Bingham. Why should we shop there? Are there any deals coming up? Easter's coming up. Like, we got some spring events coming up.
Yeah, we have our spring thaw sale right now. So we actually have a lot of product on sale. We have $50 helmets, some $40 baggy shorts, $30 jerseys, $20 gloves and goggles, $10, I'm going to start forgetting things now, socks and stuff, I think. And
This
then
is like-
$5 tubes and bottle cages and things. So
It reminds me, though, it's like skiing. And so it's like, oh, I bought skis. Oh, by
You're
the way,
not done.
you need 1 million other things. So
but that's the fun of it, right? Is that
Yeah.
you can always accessorize. You can always grab another little thing. You know, it's always nice to have a spare pair of shorts, or change your helmet out every 5 years at least. So
I'm conscious of that. So what's the brand? What are people wearing? Versace?
yeah, totally. Some Gucci shoes.
Some Gucci shoes? Yeah.
No, so Fox and Pock are really hot. I mean, they've got great fit and
Like old school
you know,
Fox?
Yeah, like Fox Racing.
Yeah,
like
okay.
they've got great jerseys and shorts.
And
And
Poc
then
POC.
POC, yeah, they're out of they do their distribution, I think, out of Park City.
Okay.
So it's kind of medium local. And then we
Medium
still have
local.
we still have a decent amount of specialized product as well. So
Mm-hmm.
we're still doing a lot of road jerseys and
Yeah, what do I go in and buy? So I got to buy a bike first, and then I got to buy an outfit or whatever.
helmet next.
Helmet, you gotta have a helmet.
Yeah,
Helmet next,
helmet's
helmet next.
number 2. Yeah.
Shoes,
Yeah, but you can. I mean, flat pedals are a big deal now. I don't know what
Okay.
was happening when you were last on the bike, but there was a big push for a long time that you had to be clipped in and on clipless pedals, which makes no sense. But flat pedals are back, and a lot of folks are riding flat pedals all over the place. So you can get away with some Vans or whatever, but we sell 510s that are
Yeah,
really.
Todd has some on. Put those.
I
on,
also
Todd.
have them.
You got-
Yeah,
I
you
can't
can-
see 'em. Well, yeah.
But we
Good
sell
for
some
riding
really
in.
awesome 510s that are both great for if you're going out for a hike, but also if you're going for a bike ride. So they're a little more multi-purpose than those old clip-in style shoes are. A lot more comfortable too, and they still offer protection if you're taking a digger here and there. And then you want your hydration, your bottle cage or your.
I swear, wasn't
backpack
that
or
why
whatever.
Camelback was invented?
Yeah.
Well, I remember using the original Camelback on a mountain bike trip.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, we still sell quite a few hydration packs, and now you can get them as fanny packs. I
Yeah.
mean, there's all you can
They're
go super
fancy.
old school. You can go. I mean, old school is almost like back to old school, where it's not a fanny pack anymore, and it's an actual backpack again.
So the rage the last 2, 3, 4 years maybe in skiing, which you guys do ski, is like the what vest, or like wearing a vest that's it's got the pockets and everything in it. Is there something like that for mountain bikers?
Sort of. I wouldn't.
You want to
I-
breathe more.
Yeah, I haven't tried anything like that, honestly, and I haven't seen a whole lot
Keep
of
it simple.
Yeah, pretty simple. Oh, most serious riders I know just use water bottles and cages.
Okay.
And then like a back fanny pack.
Okay. Is there a special water bottle, like an insulated?
Oh, we do insulated,
Okay.
but nope.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, they haven't really changed in the past
Okay.
50 years. So.
Yeah, like here's a bunch of plastic that'll live forever. And
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Well, good luck this season. I mean, you're sort of just getting started with the spring sale and all that kind of stuff,
Yep,
and
just
then
kicking off.
and then I am assuming you slow down sort of towards the fall. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Typical. Yeah.
more information, go to Bingham Cyclery, all the things, right?
Yep.
Just search Bingham Cyclery in Ogden. Okay.
BinghamCyclery.com.
Go
It'll
go
come
in and you're in the Ogden store. So Jackie, you bump around? Do you have
Kind of all over.
you're all over the place. So Brayden's in the Ogden store. Go say hi to Brayden. He'll hook you up.
Will do.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you did buy a bike during the pandemic, it's time.
It's time.
It's
Yeah.
gonna tune up. Tune up
Yeah.
time now.
Tune up.
Tune up to hashtag.
Yeah.
Tune up time. Now, because you can't ride the trails, you might as well get a tune up right now and
That's right.
figure that out.
Yep. I would do it now.
Okay, thanks. I'm sure we missed a bunch of stuff, but that was a good overview
Yes.
to start or whatever.
I feel good about it.
Okay, good. That's all I care about.
Yep.
Chime in if there's something else we gotta. Oh my gosh. Okay, Joel.
All right, so I'm reading this for the first time.
Okay,
so I'll
good.
jump in here.
Is this
So-
Joel's?
Yep, this
Okay,
is Joel's
okay.
bio.
Joe's bio.
Did you see that your bio is now listed on Ogden City Arts? And so they're kind of doing a similar thing that I want to do on the show, and that is spotlight some of the new members / all the members. They'll probably get to everybody eventually. And so here is, let's see, we want to introduce you to a new Ogden City Arts Advisory member. Joel Kitamura holds the arts education seat. Okay, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So here's your bio. Joel has been a resident of Ogden City for nearly 2 decades and works as an art teacher at New Ames Early College High School. He received a BFA with a 2D emphasis in 2015. Was it 2015? Yeah. From Weber State University, exploring a multitude of mediums. This is exactly what I was describing you, including painting, printmaking. Oh, you disappeared. How much? Drawing and ceramics. Before attending Weber State, he joined the U.S. Marine Corps from 1999 to 2007. It was one of the first groups to mobilize to Iraq shortly after 9/11. He loves to travel around the world and immerse himself in new cultures by experiencing the arts and food and building relationships with strangers, even if for a moment through conversations. Oh, that's so nice. That's what you're doing today.
He's a Renaissance man.
Yeah, Renaissance man. From these experiences, he has always appreciated the sense of camaraderie within a community, whether it was with his band of brothers or the great people of Ogden he has come to know over the years. He can remember not so long ago during his daily commutes, passing the vacant lot where the junction now stands, to most recently driving past the Wonder Lot, thinking he needs to be involved in the continuing growth of the wonderful city. Ogden has a rich history that he wants to be a part of. Did you write that?
Yeah.
Nicely done. And it's mostly true, isn't it?
Yeah. What? No. All of it.
Well, you could tell me now after you got the position. So it's one of those. I know that helped get you selected there. So
That
let's.
sounded nice. You reading it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll have to make sure and read the bios of everybody that we have that comes in, just to keep it fair, of course. And so, after all of this time, you are now officially on the Ogden City Arts Advisory Committee. What's that mean to you? I know I've probably mentioned it to you a few times that I thought that'd be a good match for you.
Oh, yeah.
But I do know, like this last selection, that we had an opening and there was a lot of people that applied and wanted to get in, and so there's a lot of amazing people that wanted to be part of that board. And so, congrats for being selected.
Thank you.
Obviously, that.
Well, and I just want to say, like, we didn't pull for you at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like a little. I mean, just meaning I don't have the power to just simply you.
Yeah.
Are now part of
Yeah,
this.
we totally didn't just choose you.
You've endorsed me through.
Through drinks. And so now that you're part of this club, this small club that we have, it means that basically your commitment is the occasional Tuesday. We meet on Tuesdays, right?
Tuesdays.
Second Tuesday of each month, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And beyond that, it's, what are your plans? What would you like to give? Have you joined any subcommittees yet?
I think.
Have you joined any subcommittees?
See, that's what we want to know first.
Yeah,
and
what
foremost.
subcommittee you on, Joel?
Is the grant review is that a subcommittee?
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
you're in.
the arts
I
grants.
I didn't agree to
That's
it.
one of the more time consuming
They
ones.
gave
Did
it
you
to
do
me.
it this last time?
Yeah, I did.
So you graded about 11,
10 or 11. Yeah.
which of course we can't
Yep.
talk about yet,
Right.
Because we haven't chosen as
Yep.
far as that goes. But how was that for you? How was
It was
kind of getting a slice of our applicants?
It was nice to
was
be able
impressive,
to
wasn't it?
be part of that community that I have already associated with. When I used to work for the Ogden Amphitheater, I would have conversations with some of the applicants that would come to events or to concerts just for fun. And so building that sense of community, getting to know the community, and being able to I guess, give my part to the city that has welcomed me with gracious arms, and me being able to enjoy the outdoor community.
I think we
has-
need to drink every time you say community. I think that's,
Yeah, I'm drunk now.
we got to catch up.
the educational community. Yes.
Hey,
Let's
drink.
drink to that. And so, and it, I think you and Lori were the ones that kind of opened my eyes to how I could contribute, and I didn't really think about it. I was just part of it, and partaking of what Ogden City offered every month or every season. And
Well, that's interesting. So, as an artist in Ogden,
Mm-hmm.
did you know that there was a group at the city that was advocating for you?
yes and no.
Yeah.
I knew that an entity existed, but had no idea what their job was or contribution was, and so I thought it was just politically oriented people making decisions. And
100%. That's
not-
all it is.
In the end,
All I thought is that they had a lot of power.
Yeah, all the power.
and I wanted little of
As it turns
that
out.
power.
Yeah.
No, but it's been great. I think working for the city made me realize the richness that we are able to offer to the community. Drink. Okay, and it's a nice way to give back, so to speak.
Yeah. And you just started, so
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
That wasn't on the bio, your work that you did with the amphitheater. Did you do that for a couple summers?
Yeah, so I got on 2018 and then kind of left when COVID happened because we couldn't gather and organize any events. And so that's when, coincidentally, my wife works for a high school, and she just notified me that there's an opening for an art teacher position. And I shook my head. I'm like, I don't want to teach, right?
That was me over at Weaver.
I want to do
funny.
art
Yep.
and show my art, but it just kind of festered in my mind enough that I needed a different direction, and took the chance and got the position, and I don't regret 1 ounce of that.
Do you have time to work on your own art as a teacher?
No,
Yeah.
as a teacher, you don't have.
I've
time for
heard
anything.
you don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The perk is you get 3 months off, and that's when I get to travel. And my wife also arranges educational tours with the high school that we work with, and take a bunch of kids. So I kind of benefit from her efforts, and be able to see the world.
How rewarding is it to be an art teacher in a school? I've only known one other element. Well, she junior high? Sarah, was she junior high? Junior high or high school teacher. And she thought it was hard, which it probably is.
Teaching?
Yeah, art in junior high and high school, but also probably very rewarding and inspirational at times.
It is for sure. I teach at New Ames High School, which is focusing on STEM, and so art has no business being in the STEM, but we are trying to force our way into it to become a STEAM
You forced that
school.
A into there.
yeah. And so, but we are trying to we as
I got to stop you because
yeah.
that just doesn't sound right. You got to be creative though.
Right.
Even in,
Oh, yeah.
in all of those fields, right? Creativity is like what made Albert Einstein. And so that's your job then.
Exactly. And
Okay.
so we try to implement that creativity, teach or expose the students to coming up with an idea and developing that idea into a visual element that we can share and talk about through the critiquing process. And so it's more about communication, not so much as creating and just kind of showing the product, but like being able to connect to the outside world. How does your art or the view of art connect to how you are, living in this world and developing your identity in high school? And so I kind of guide that process and not so much as teach or force feed art per se, but to give them more diversity, culture outside of their own circle, that there's, different thinkers, different visual communication that is happening that you could be in tune with if you choose to. And I try to expose them to those options or essentially give them stuff to look at.
Yeah. Is there one of you in every school? not like Joel's, but yeah, similar positions.
Well, a different color.
Yeah,
That's I mean, they, like blue
Same
shirts
kind of
instead of
care,
red
but
shirts, but more or less the
Yeah.
same.
because I'm thinking like, yeah, every school needs someone like that.
Yeah. No. To be honest, I've heard from student feedback, specifically from junior high, that like, why are you different, or like, why is your class so much funner than my junior high teachers? And I've heard some horror stories about previous teachers that they've had, art teachers that they've had, that told them you're doing it wrong, or this is not right, which is not what art is.
You're doing
about.
art wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
okay.
That it in my mind, art should be anything within parameters of your skill or your knowledge with art history.
We
or
podcast wrong all the time.
Yeah,
So
100%.
100% all the time.
but
yeah.
it's fun.
But it's so fun. Yeah.
And so
We're still just as bad. We just have better gear to be bad.
Yeah, we got cameras and shit, nice mics and stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
get to
100%.
drink while you.
And we make sure everybody drinks more. That's, I think, so the more you drink, the better we are at our job. Yeah,
Is everyone at home drinking as much? So
If they're doing it right.
the same.
It
if they're
sounds
doing it right, they are, yeah.
good point, because our podcasts sound better. when-
It's our new catchphrase.
This podcast brought to you by Mothers Against Drug Driving.
The safety of your own home, on your treadmill, whatever you need to do, yeah.
Yeah. But no, I try to expose as much as I can to the students to kind of get an idea of what the outside world may be thinking about. And art is a great way to essentially express the way you can communicate, or to take in the communication of other people.
Okay, so do you miss working on your own art?
Yes. Yes.
So what's the
Watching-
solution there?
I kind of draw over my students just to kind of enjoy the process. And so that, I mean, it's micro enjoyment that I get to have, but like, I don't have time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I think I'm such a fairly new teacher that as my curriculum becomes beefier, then I will have time to do it. Specifically this summer, I think I have some plans to force myself to make art. And Todd, I think this is the 13th time that we've talked about collaborating.
And
doing
Lori
something
too, but
together.
I do know that that's on our bucket list, is to do a show
Yeah.
a show together with the two of
Yeah.
us. And then of course I
Like
would
an
bring
art
in-
show, not a podcast.
Yeah, like
Okay.
an art show. But I would say we'd invite in our sort of third in our little trio was Lori Buckley, but she's such an exceptional artist now that I don't want her in the show, because she's
overshadow.
yeah,
us.
like she's really good. Yeah, and she's been showing quite a bit her work, and so it's like, no, we're just gonna do the two of us. That's so funny, but that's definitely an old issue and a current issue, is the fact that art is often neglected in schools. That's sometimes the first place you go to when there's either budget cuts or the focus needs to be this, and it's not always the art right there.
Yeah, and I just came back from a flyby that we just hosted for incoming sophomores, and so just advertising what we have to offer with arts and within a STEM school, that like art does exist. Come join us and take a break from science, math, engineering courses, and come to art class and just take a break from utilizing that side of the brain and exercise the other side, and fully exercise your brain and start that creative process that can be utilized for both art and other areas. Like I teach my students to liken their idea generating process to the scientific hypothesizing, that you kind of have to start with that idea, and then when you start to draw it, it may not work out initially, as in you got to sketch it out and then work on the sketch to develop it as the final product. So it's no different than the hypothesis theory that science classes utilize, and I try to kind of snag those kids that are like anti-art to be like, hey, it's not just art, but you could use the creative aspect of thinking in other areas as well. And
That's
kind of
brilliant.
enrich
You
into
got to
life.
sneak in some of those life lessons. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Who's your mentor?
That's a good question.
I'm right here, dude.
Yeah, that's,
Right over.
Besides Todd. I meant besides Todd. Like, yeah, besides
he's a
Todd.
big influence.
Who's he's a big influence, but like, are there, others, STEM art teachers out there on YouTube that are giving hints on how to do that, or
So
what?
to answer that question, Todd read my bio, and you kind of referred to me as the Renaissance man, and I just love art enough that I'm all over the place, which is also a fault of mine, that I cannot have a focus in just painting or just ceramics. So I cannot perfect it, but I kind of mix and match some of my interests within art to kind of do printmaking stuff on clay, which you may have seen right before we graduated. And so I'm experimenting. I don't like to settle on one type of art, and I just like to explore to get that rounded offering of art that I'm constantly rediscovering or re-exploring what I already know. But I don't have one specific mentor or influence, but just art in general.
Is there a theme that you're attracted to that shows up in all your different types of art?
It's outdoors, outdoor environment, specifically with how man or just human versus the environment interaction, whether we are overtaking the environment or the environment overtaking us, as in you see ivy growing on the side of the building in some areas, and it's kind of overtaking the facade. And so I'm interested in that interaction between the human and the nature, and explore that.
Have you watched any of that new video game series? What's it called?
I don't know.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. But that's a good example of time has passed and and nature and all that has taken over. But those shots are incredible.
I have to check that out.
Oh, you really should. Yeah, that lines up exactly with kind of what you're talking about. I love that sort of version of a post-apocalypse where nature has thrived, survived,
right,
and man maybe not so much.
We have a guest in studio out there listening to the podcast. You can come in the trailer if you want, by the way.
You can also grab yourself a beer.
Yeah, grab a beer. Grab a beer. That's why they're there. Fridge is on the other side of the trailer here.
Actually, I have a question too.
Yeah.
With your the fact that you're dealing with students all the time, and you're busy, but are you finding any inspiration from them, or thinking about things that when you do have time, you're like making a list of like, today I'm inspired to do X or Y, or like
I'm also in school as well, so like that takes away from the time that I could be making art. But inspirations almost on a daily basis, if not at least once a week, that makes me want to do art, that like it'll give me a spark of idea that I want to start to explore. And so I start so many artworks, and then I realize I don't have the time to finish it. And so one that I started recently was during COVID, when specifically speaking with Trump in office and the state of the country in shambles with the riot happening. I kind of reflected. Oh, and I also got my citizenship recently too. And so I'm Japanese, by the way. And so thinking about all these things, a flag as a symbol of the country, me serving in the military as well, as a Japanese citizen.
You weren't.
Oh yeah, how'd you do that?
I don't know. So
Because you served before you were a citizen.
So I'm a legal resident with a green card, and so that is good enough to join a military service as a non-citizen. Which is
Todd, you're in.
And so I did my service and got out still as a Japanese citizen and legal resident of the.
Can an American do the same thing in Japan?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I tried to get a dual citizenship, and Japanese are so not prideful, but they are so rich with their culture that they didn't want to give out dual citizenship.
Yeah, don't taint that shit. That's,
no, traditional and very pure. Yes.
Yeah. Anything about you,
yes,
you're pure. You're definitely pure.
100% Japanese. Yeah. And so, what were we talking about before that?
Inspiration.
Yeah, but I have no idea. This is great.
I have a question for
the
you.
beer's kicking in.
Yes. So what culture and or time period in art history has inspired you most?
Good question.
Good.
Modern, I think modern. And so, speaking of the Renaissance man, I'm teaching my class the Renaissance right now, and so Da Vinci is a hot topic, and
He was hot.
he was, he was hot. and so after that is essentially when the artists started to not have to be constrained by commissions, specifically for the church, that you only were able to paint things that
Wait,
were
so was the
religious.
church the only one giving out commissions back then?
The church and
Royalty?
anybody that's rich.
Royalty?
Yeah,
Royalty,
people that had money. You have to be able to afford a portraiture, so they would dress in all of their attire, the robe, the crown, the scepter, and jewelry and everything.
So
and
you were told what to paint or what?
Yep. You didn't really have an option. And-
This is back when the church had a lot of money.
yeah.
They don't have any money anymore.
It's a different time now.
Yeah. Okay.
And so to break away from that, photography is what allowed that separation of commission to artists, because now you could get a photograph of exactly how you look instead of a painting that may not look like you. And so they were more attracted to that, and it was very selective to be able to get a photograph.
Plus, Bob just couldn't make us look real. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, he can turn out Bob Ross, right?
Yeah, sure.
Happy
Bob the
accidents.
building.
Happy
Happy
accidents.
accidents all day long.
And so, yeah, photography paved the way for artists to start to, well, they didn't have a job anymore, and so they started to explore what they could do, and the rest is kind of history. Although modern art is kind of cringy to look at,
No, but
not a
that
figure.
brings up a good question. Is your job as an art teacher in the STEM high school AI proof?
Oh my gosh. Wow. No.
What?
Yeah, I can't talk about something that just happened, but I just started to realize that AI is becoming an issue in school, whether writing a paper or generating artwork. But I can prevent AI-generated artwork from appearing in my classroom because I monitor how the students come up with that idea and then develop it, and we kind of have to kind of pace ourselves into developing our art. So you can't just not do anything and the next day you show up with this masterpiece and I didn't see you work
With
on
the
it.
watermark.
Well, with the watermark. Yeah.
Which just happens often.
Really?
That's all AI is. It's just robbing
Yeah.
things that
Yeah.
exist. you know.
So randomly a watermark.
Sometimes
shows
a
up.
watermark is shown there. Yeah.
Yeah. But AI is a powerful tool.
Sure.
Sure.
I really wish I was back in high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it.
Take advantage.
I've never said that.
No, actually,
I would want to be back in school.
No, I would
all.
never go.
I wouldn't mind maybe being the age sometimes, but I don't want to be back in high
I
school.
wouldn't be the age either.
But
would
if
you
you
be
want,
the age?
if you want to
Knowing what I know now, going back, I don't know. I think it'd be an
Yeah, but you
adventure.
can't know. You just got to go back.
No, I would
it's
wanna know
already
what I
so
know now.
different.
Oh, I'm sure it's completely different.
That AI, COVID, there's different ideas starting to already generate. But anyway, if you want to check out good AI art, then take a look at Anadol Rafik, Rafik Anadol, I think is his name. He literally looks like a mad scientist with circle glasses, and he has a very Dutch accent. I may be butchering where his from, but he uses AI to animate data and create a piece that people can enjoy. And so,
Because it could be just a tool for certain artists, as opposed to just a way to rip off artists or an easy way out. You know?
there's controversies with it, submitting artworks that are AI generated, but you put the prompt in and there's no other painting like it.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
There's a student that won a competition.
Yeah, but I did the search.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But wouldn't some of the students in the STEM classes be the same ones that will be developing or fine tuning or having to deal with the
Potentially.
ethics of all of this in the future as well? So having that exposure might.
That's and that's interesting that you bring that up, because the same group of kids that we are starting to get now were in the middle of the pandemic, where they were homeschooled or remotely and online learned, and social skill for that matter during junior high. That's kind of when you learn how to behave as a student with your
Junior
peers,
high's
with
the
your
worst.
teacher. Yeah, it's like corralling sheep and kittens and monkeys all in one, and and so they kind of know how to work the system, or not be engaged because they didn't know how to engage in front of a computer that you didn't have to show your face on, perhaps. And so we're starting to deal with those situations. But
I did hear that the same engineers who are creating AI now, and the same engineers that are creating things that you can make art from AI are going to be the same engineers that's going to create the software that's going to tell you the difference between real art and AI art. You know,
right now I am that software.
You are
right?
it. Yeah,
I am it.
Yeah.
And so it's a tricky situation to be in. And
I don't want to talk too soon because we've been podcasting for about 13 years.
You could take
So
your
we could
voice,
probably have enough content at this point that we could just type in a subject.
it just creates itself.
and then just give me 45 minutes of new content with
And
existing.
we'll just sit in the trailer and drink beer and listen to how AI makes the podcast for us. So it'll be great. We don't have to do anything anymore. Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, bikes that take you up to the summit without pedaling.
Tesla bike.
Tesla bikes.
Tesla bikes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is our future.
I'm good to go.
All right, Joel. Anything else? What? Jesus, what do we? That was deep. Anything else? Did we miss anything? Like, what did we talk about with?
Probably the jazzy chairs that'll take us to the grocery
Jazzy chairs are
store.
pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jazzy chair.
So,
That's the which cartoon was that? Where essentially is our future?
like
With the robots.
Futurama?
What's the? No. It's one of the Pixar ones. It'll come to me in a second.
Wally?
Wally.
Wally.
Oh my God. I
What's the
can't
plot
believe
twist?
it.
Humans and Wally, where everybody is now just bound to their chairs and they just, that's our future right there. So, Ogden Twilight is around the corner. Do you miss picking up confetti?
Oh, that's right. I was going to ask, are your kids are allowed to have any glitter or confetti since you had to pick it up for years?
You had your share of nights, didn't you, picking up confetti?
I mean, in the classroom, I can be the one to tell them to pick up. Whereas at the amphitheater, we were the ones blowing it with the leaf blower and picking them
Also,
up.
isn't it more the artists than the kids that were the problem with the confetti?
Yeah. That's
Thinking of one in particular.
Yep. Love him, but the mess that he left. Great show, though. Great show.
Yeah.
And I missed that he's not coming.
This is one of the first years he's not coming back,
No,
right? But he's
yeah.
like, there's a Salt Lake date that was too
Yeah.
close or something.
We're not allowed to say.
No, I think you were. I think everything's.
Wayne Coyne,
Wayne Coyne,
come back, make a mess. We will welcome you.
We're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're ready for the confetti and the giant Mylar balloons.
Hashtag ready for the confetti.
Yeah.
That's great. Joel, do you have any parting words for budding artists who are in high school or even in college and the direction they should go with your infinite wisdom of artistry?
Putting me on the spot with
Yes,
that
I
question.
am. You have about a second to think about it.
Well, obviously,
Can I-
so I did advising for undergrad art students for 6-7 years. And so my advice would obviously be steady income, easy to find jobs. None of this applies, right?
Yeah.
But it's every other lesson that comes with arts and humanities job. And
We're
so,
hiring at the bike shop if they need jobs
Yes, yeah.
while they're working on there.
which is often the case, right?
So have a backup.
It's a means,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I think more than anything, and then you're just starting a little earlier than I did, it's that idea of arts and humanities students learning those, we called them soft skills, to be better citizens, period, with whatever is thrown at them.
Yep.
They are the population that pivots quicker, that adapts quicker, that just sees things differently
Yes.
than literally anyone else.
They have a different perspective about the world around them.
And I think that those lessons
Yeah.
mixed in with maybe a little bit of Renaissance and shading,
Yep.
is basically going to produce those students that are,
Yeah.
I think they're better
How do
adapted.
how do we teach people to be more like you? Like who's open
Nope.
to change and want
One
change?
and done.
And less like me who like doesn't want any change.
I think that's why we work so well together. Yeah,
The yin
Okay.
and the yang.
Yin and yang all day long here.
that's very true.
Yeah, it is true.
I think some of it comes with this exactly. I think it's just the idea of, I do believe that art students, theater students, people that where a little bit of rejection is part of that process or critique is part of that
is.
process, you come out the other side not feeling,
Yeah.
stuck so much,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if that's the answer, but it's definitely
Yeah.
one.
No, it's definitely like art. You have to kind of accept and deal with failure all the time, about 80% of the time.
Whoa, listen, I'm trying to rap, but that's huge because kids don't deal with rejection right now. And that's what I learned in college is going through the art program there was critiques and people essentially it's your job in that class to tell you suck and where to improve. And so to go through that.
We would never say suck. That is
no, they
you
use
missed
other,
the
they
point.
use other words like, I would have made
That's how
different
bad he
choices
was.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you processed it. The lesson wasn't that you sucked.
He was, I got it the loud and
You got
clear.
it clear?
Loud and clear. Yeah. Yeah. But it is good for everyone to go through that exercise to experience getting feedback.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because a lot of kids might be raised with parents that don't give negative feedback. And so the first time they hear that might be in a school situation.
My boy's perfect. He's perfect. Don't
Yeah.
change a thing.
Right.
You were absolutely perfect.
Right.
Don't you change anything about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so getting that or experiencing that or going through that is helpful because typically in an art class, they do it in a way that you're not absolutely tearing people down.
Yeah.
You're just giving suggestions. And,
When I patrol my class, right, I'm making sure everybody's working, but at the same time, I'm stopping by to see like, hey, what are you doing there? Or like that is looking the way it should be, or I'm starting to see the picture. And so I try not to give praises like good job, right? Like good job kind of is like, oh,
that's all I would
if it's
say.
good, then I'm done.
Yeah.
And so like that
Dude,
kind of
that's
stops
dope.
that work.
Yeah.
They just pack things up and take off.
try to be the cool teacher.
Maybe art isn't for you, okay?
let's try theater or music. And so, no. We recognize what's working.
There's always podcasting. If you can't teach podcast, if you can't do this podcast, if the bike stuff doesn't work, just think about podcasting.
Have you thought about podcasting your bike experience? Like you're like showing how to repair. I mean, those guys crush it. Anybody on YouTube, not podcasting necessarily, but anybody on YouTube that's like, here's how to replace your derailleur, blah, blah, blah. Like, have you thought about that?
We do have a series
Yeah, see,
that we're
you
coming
have
up
to.
with, but
Yeah.
yeah, we literally have to.
Yeah, it's marketing 101 these days.
It's a part of our world.
Let me know if you need help with that. I can help you.
Yeah.
Brayden was very against it at first, but now we're warming him up.
Embrace
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Come on, jump on board, Brayden.
I'm embracing it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brayden, this was me pre-cameras.
Pre-75
I
cameras
did,
in one.
I did drag my feet a little. I'm an old school. Like, I like the audio, right? But you got to meet the people where they are.
Yeah.
And content is content. And so I would rather somebody enjoy our programming in the corner of their screen while they're working, if that's how they enjoy it.
And we try to treat it like I'm a huge Dan Patrick sports fan, and it's a radio show first. So we podcast first, and the cameras are more like what's it called when you just you're watching somebody.
It's like a little voyeuristic.
Voyeuristic. Yeah, you're on the outside looking at, like, we're not like right here looking at the camera most of the time. So you're just sort of watching the behind the scenes. That's sort of how we approach the recording.
Candid.
Yeah, a little more candid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Candid sounds better than voyeuristic.
Yeah.
Voyeuristic's badass. Yeah. And illegal in some states. So,
That is a different show.
it's a different show. Different show. Thanks, Joel.
Of course.
You have a website where we can go find your art?
Instagram,
anything?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
It is Kitamura.
I like that you remember.
Weebly.com.
Sorry, I interrupted.
Kitamura.weebly.com.
.weebly.com.
Yep.
Kitamura is just how it sounds.
Yep. Just sound it out.
Yeah. Okay. Todd, anything? You got anything for arts as we close out the show?
No, but I do have to do a quick little update. And maybe this was your story as well, but we would be remiss if we did not address that Gwyneth Paltrow was in town today.
Jesus.
In Park City. So
Yeah.
we started talking about this. This happened about 7 years ago. And
We've
so
been covering this story hot for 7 years. Just
So
so
probably
everyone
kinda
knows.
I can't
Teasing.
believe you're down
Yeah.
here right now. and
more
not up
teasing.
there.
Yeah.
Well, she was supposed to be on today, but we told her we had Bingham on. and we're like,
her first
I
day of
don't
trial
wanna
didn't
bump
go very
you.
well. So yeah. So let's do just a quick little update on that. So Gwyneth Paltrow was in Park City today for the start of a trial over a retired optometrist who's not interested in doing this for the money, by the way. His allegation that the actor and entrepreneur, Miss Goop,
Miss Goop,
crashed into him on the ski slope in 2016. So what were you doing in 2016? Yeah, we were in school.
Yeah.
he wants all the
No,
Goop
it
money.
was just out of school.
Yep.
Left him with serious injuries and said, we don't want that, obviously.
No, nobody.
Both Paltrow and the former doctor, Terry Sanderson, were present in the courtroom. So she was in town today over in Park City.
She was going to run his ass over again in the courtroom is what she was going to do.
Or have her people do it. That was the
Right,
thing, too.
yeah.
As their attorneys laid out conflicting recollections of the incident that occurred at Park City's Deer Valley Resort. A central question during the trial, which is expected to last 8 days. That's a lot.
They have that much to talk about.
Will be one who was uphill. Who was uphill and who was downhill during the incident, because Utah law says a downhill skier has the right of way. The jury will have to decide whether Paltrow acted negligently during the encounter. Sanderson's lawsuit, originally filed in 2019, so it came to him 3 years after the accident, alleges Paltrow slammed into him, with one witness using the term hit and run. Paltrow, however,
And she's big.
All
Like,
92
she's huge.
pounds.
Because
She'll
that was
take
going to be
ass
my
out.
question. Is
Yeah.
like, I feel like she's wayfish.
she's slight, I think is a good word. She's slight. Paltrow, however, has contended the retired doctor became entangled with her from behind and pulled her
In a
down
hot
into
tub
the
later
snow
that
with
evening
him.
is what the, yeah.
I like how that was all worded.
Yeah.
In
Entangled.
opening statement, Sanderson's attorneys cited findings from the doctors who said the nature of his injuries, such as his broken ribs, point to Paltrow as the skier who initiated the crash.
How can you tell who broke your ribs?
Yeah, or he just fell hard on his side and broke his own ribs.
I think
you can
that
do that.
Was there like a Goop logo?
The injuries, yeah. She hit him so hard.
This Goop logo on him.
Oh my gosh. So let's make sure and follow up on that over the next 8 days.
100%.
8 days.
8
of
days
trial.
of fun. I don't know. Is this live on Can we watch this on C-SPAN or something?
I want to watch it. I'll have to
Yeah.
ask Joe. He watches C-SPAN regularly. So,
Call
Yeah.
TMZ.
Between all of us, we must know someone on that jury.
I guarantee.
Oh,
you.
yeah. We got to get him on the show.
Okay. So if anybody is a little more intimate than us, we want to know more details. So please let us know.
Or at least
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah. God, that's okay.
Maybe Park City TV will cover
So
that.
basically, what I'm
PCTV 's
saying
probably on
is
it.
say a little prayer tonight for Gwyneth Paltrow. Because
Always-
we worry about her.
Yeah, she might lose all 10
But she's
bucks.
countersuing for $1.
She is not. Are you serious?
Yeah. But it's more of just a principle thing.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but I hope he has to pay for all of her fees.
Is that Goop money?
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
That's a lot of moisturizing money.
She also sells weird shit too on there. I don't know.
A lot of
Yeah,
lifestyle
a lot of
things.
lifestyle stuff. No, the only thing I have, and we sort of touched on this, was that the trails are not ready they're not mountain bike ready yet.
Not ready. Yep.
Yeah.
No.
See you in June. Like, when are we gonna be? Like, it's gonna be a while.
This type of year, I would say end of June probably.
Wow.
If not later. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, last season I saw like this was 2018, 2019, and mountain biking, in low snow basin like Willer Canyon, it was late June, early July.
That's crazy. Okay.
So probably later. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this week's Outdoor Jukebox, we will leave you with 11th Hour from If and When. These are 18, 19-year-old kids, and their influence is Pink Floyd, thank God. And they play, their music is damn good. Damn good. You wouldn't know they were right out of high school. I think some of them are still in high school. Anyway, we're releasing a track a night on our Van Sessions YouTube this week, and with the full episode released on Friday night. So 7 o'clock, tune in to a new track. This is the track that was released. You're listening to this on Wednesday because that's when it comes out. So last night, so whatever. But it's 11th Hour, If and When, on Van Sessions at the Monarch. Van Sessions on YouTube. You can catch all of that stuff. That's it for the Ogden Arts and Adventure Show, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks again.